Hello viewers, welcome to Gerald's Empire Show, and this is a show that we want to continue empowering people with information. And as you all know, in Kenya today we have a good number of young people that are unemployed, and as a result of that, they are being faced with a number of challenges here and there. And today I'm lucky to have somebody who has had an opportunity to work at the community level, and based on that he has been able to really see quite a number of happenings. And because he's here with us today, I would want him just to really introduce himself, and we get to know him. Karibu sana ndugu.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, my name is Vincent Oyier. I'm a student at Tangaza University, pursuing a bachelor's in leadership and management, and I'm focusing on public administration. So I'm glad to be on this show today to speak about the issues that are affecting the youth within slums and within the underserved communities, and perhaps being a resident of I'm living in Lakisama at the moment, but I've interacted with both Gomongo, Korokocho and Dandora, and I've witnessed and I've seen some of the key issues that youth are undergoing, and as at now I feel there is a solution for all these things, and that is why I'm here, and I want to share my insights, and I want to share what I think can be put in place to help out these issues.
Wow. Thank you so much, Vincent. Maybe just to really understand a few things, maybe for how long have you been working in the community?
Okay, I've worked in the community for more than 4 years right now. I've worked outside Nairobi, in Makueni County, but mostly I've worked with the youths. So my major part has been in inclusive education, resilient livelihood, and entrepreneurship, giving people or training on skills on how to start, to manage, and even operate a business. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Maybe in the course of your community work, what can you say that so far you have been able to really maybe do with some of the youth that you have interacted with?
Okay, right now I'm a member of a CBO in Nairobi called Nairobi Youth for Sustainable Development. So this is a CBO that is formed with alumni of there's an organization that I worked with as a volunteer. It's called VSO. So VSO stands for Voluntary Service Overseas. So after we had worked in Makueni, we came back to Nairobi and formed a CBO. So we were looking on how can we impact with the experience, the skills we have gotten from the outside community. So what can we do to the community where we live in, because that defines our normal day life, because we form part and parcel of that community. So we work under 3 pillars, that is inclusive education, resilient livelihoods, and we also have what we call social inclusion. Now we've been able to work within communities like Madare, Ukuru, and Kibera, and we are tackling majorly during the 2020 pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. We were able to touch these communities in giving education on how to combat and even to manage the coronavirus, that is taking precautions, and we also empowering the communities by offering some sanitizers, masks, and at the same point we're also looking at the low-income earners, that includes the mama mbogas, the boda people, and most of the youths who are out there, they're not employed. So we were touched when we moved to these communities because we have so many brilliant youths within these communities, but they are not empowered. They don't have that education, or they don't have that skill, even if they have, but they're not able to put it in practice. So we volunteered ourselves with the people that we had formed our CBO to at least try to impact these youth and talk to them, bring them on board, and even tell them that it doesn't matter that you have to be employed, but so long as you know something, you are self-aware, you can start something from nothing, and when you get the necessary support from your colleagues, you are able to achieve and to able to change the dynamics of what people used to know of Madare, Mandora, Korokocho. I believe in those areas there are so many bright future, and there are so many people that hold brighter future, and we can bring them on board. That is why Nairobi Youth Sustainable Development is trying to advocate for the formulation and even from making of policies that the youth's voice can be heard in making these policies within the county government and even the national government.
Wow, wow, wow. Now, you have really given us like an insight of what the organization does.
Okay.
Now, I know at the community, there's also the challenge of crime at the community level. So I don't know, in the course of your volunteer work, have you been able maybe to really encounter serious challenges as a result of maybe criminal activities, probably emanating from maybe the youth?
Okay. That is quite evident because I've witnessed, and I have some of the friends who have been involved in these issues, and luckily enough, I've been able to talk to them. So you realize within these underserved, let me call them underserved communities, because I want to believe at some point they don't get the resources as other communities. That means mentorship, empowerment, and even distribution of resources whenever the government or the political leaders are trying to implement their manifestos. So majorly crime, it is mostly robbery with violence. It's anomaly. It has been a normality for a while. You realize these youths within these communities, there is a norm that they grow seeing. Those who can act as role models are not necessarily not role models, because they live to be inspired by what they see around. He or she has finished high school, and the next thing that he can think of when he looks around, that people, there's a norm in their mind that you don't, if you have finished high school, you don't need to go and start offering your services. It's something that you know for free, but we have to wait for somebody to come and employ us, or we need to wait for jobs to be advertised. So whenever that job is not advertised, the next thing, we always run out of providing for our basic needs. That means sometimes you cannot get shelter or food, and you are a youth and you're growing, you feel like the next thing you can do, a neighbor has a good phone, you've seen him, he has bought a nice television. The next thing you think of, if I take this one and sells at a very lower price, I'm able to sustain my need, not knowing that this is a crime, and within the constitution it is a crime. It has to, whenever you are caught in this, you'll be perhaps jailed, or if the law cannot intervene very fast, the mob also are there looking for you, and they can end up your life. So crime like robbery is very evident, and it happens in broad daylight, even at night. Actually, it's very rampant in broad daylight. And that sends a picture to those upcoming generation. You realize somebody grows seeing the norm of the day is when you walk out, you are snapped your phone and nothing happens. So the young child that grows up knows that it is normal to go and steal a phone, just sell it, or it's normal to go and break in a house, take something and then sells it. But we don't feel like, what are we growing, or what are we impacting young, people will grow seeing that stealing is something very wrong. And then there's this norm of there is that ignorance that because I live in Dandora, I live in Madare, I cannot be somebody in society. That is a no, and it's a no, because I believe whenever you are educated, you've gone to school, be it even high school level or primary level, there's something that you have gained that is different from that person who has not gone to school. So it is in my wish that as a community we have to talk, we have to address the issues of crime, the issues of this ignorance, because when you are ignorant, the next thing you can think of the cheap. How can you get something that is cheap, and that is money? So money, if you can't get the cash, you go and steal something, and then you go and steal something, or you go and steal something and sell it to get money. So being in Dandora, I've witnessed where youths, very vibrant youth that are able, very energetic, and are able to, they can do something for earn a living, just to get themselves into drugs. After drugs, now the only thing they can think is now he's stronger than anybody, and he can get to any house, he can stop anyone in the highway and then steal a phone from them. So that is an issue that's really affecting our youths. If we cannot come up as youths and talk in one voice that we can do it and we can change this society, and we cannot be described by us coming from a slum, but we can be described by us making an impact in the society.
And for sure, that's a huge challenge that is taking place out there. And maybe I also want to know, maybe in your organization, have you been able to maybe like transform some of the youth, probably who initially maybe were in criminal activities, but maybe after your empowerment with information, they have even started maybe doing some businesses here and there. Are you maybe having maybe such living examples?
We have examples. We are within Nairobi. We are partnering with even other organizations, and we have an organization in Majengo. And for a longer time, when for those who know Majengo, it is also not a very safe environment. And we have one of ours, a member called Edwin Cheka, who is a founder of that organization. And he has worked in partnership with the organization. We have tried to mobilize youths that have felt have been victims of crime. They have been victims of these issues that are affecting youth within the society. And in this organization, we have been able to bring youths on board and train on entrepreneurship. That means we are just giving skills. Being a CBO, we are now working. We are being a CBO. We are trying to bring education, civil education, into youths, because at this point we still don't have resources that you can say you can provide a job, you can give resources that are able to sustain. But we are trying to bring them on board, and we talk. After talking, we have seen most of youths transforming. Those addicted to drugs are trying to find an alternative, and we have also partnered with other organizations that are working to ensure that the level of drug abuse, the level of girls out of school, girls are trained on entrepreneurship and given skills on either tailoring, making, or something that they can do. So long as, because you know, when a young girl gets a child at a younger age, the child that is born is not a victim of the problem that was caused with his mother. But we are trying to make sure that this young lady is able to sustain, despite the man who brought all these things is not available in her life, but she can still get something to do to provide for this young child, so that this young child does not grow knowing that this is what society provides. Because we are trying to avoid the issue of the mother is a victim, the child is in Majengo, we have been able to transform society. There are activities that we do that involves empowering youth. We've been able to organize some active sports activities that these youth are able to form their own teams. They compete for instance, a tournament. They get something small from there, and then we still do a follow-up. After now we have gotten these youths, we listen to their stories and we bring them on board and give them the skills that they can able to, despite there is no job, but we are very sure that so long as he has hands and he has gotten information from school, he's able to start something, even if it is preparing mandazis, doing smoky business, doing some small business like selling mutumba clothes. He or she at the end of the day is able to get something that he has worked for, not something that he has seen somebody working with a new phone and he goes and snatches out there. At the end of the day, the law shall apply to everyone.
And I know being a student and also really having such serious engagement with your community is not an easy thing. How do you juggle the two activities here? You are a student and at the same time you are a volunteer and of course the community in need of your service. How do you juggle these two activities?
Okay, volunteering is my passion, and anytime I feel I'm not working for the community, I feel like I'm failed. And for the skills that I've gotten in the past years, being that I always attend classes, I have classes twice a week. That means from Monday to Thursday, I'm going to get some content. So I'm not fully employed. That means I have some time to do some casual job. So at the end of the day, I make sure I keep in touch with what is happening in the community. And being that we are having a CBO and we have members who work within community, we are able to create network. And it inspires me when I come out of class. Something that I've learned, I'm always willing to go and share it out. So I have to make sure that from Saturday when I'm out of school, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I have to meet a youth and tell him or her there is something that you can do within the society. You don't have to be in school for you to get these skills to start doing them on the ground. But I try so much because one thing is I have a network. So I'm able, when my service is needed in a community, I'll just be told, Vincent, this is what is happening. And being that we have begun some projects, we are told that we know our objective and we know at this point we want to achieve this. So I'm able to create my own time, and I always I always give it a priority that it's my word in this life just to impact somebody, to solve solutions of this society, because I have lived to know that nobody can solve our problems unless we step up.
Wow.
So I'm able to balance my classwork and my volunteer work. At the end of the day, I found my work when I'm able to impact the life of another youth within the society.
Oh, that's so encouraging, Vincent. And maybe as we wind up, what is your maybe message to maybe some youth probably who will be watching maybe this video? Maybe what is your message to them? Because apparently we are having all manner of excuses from youth that there is no job, there is no opportunities for employment, and as a result, others are really like using that as an avenue for them to really get into criminal activities. Others, they just want what we call a soft life. They don't want anything that may tire them, and as a result, often getting into trouble or even getting arrested just because of some criminal activities. Maybe as we come to an end of this show, like what is your advice to this young generation?
Okay, my advice to this young generation is there is no soft life as we live, because even the people that are having wealth right now, they can sit down and tell you their story. They began from somewhere. So I have some things to say on how this youth that feels that where he comes from he cannot make it. It is a lie, because change begins with a mindset. And when you look at a society as a provider of everything, that one you are wrong, because once you know your worth, you know who you are, what do you want in life. I want to speak to these youth who have finished Form 4, has finished college, and perhaps you didn't make it to high school or college, but you've not gotten a job at this point. You've looked for that job, you've not find it. Now, you yourself, you are able to make your own. It doesn't matter what are you beginning with, because I know 100 steps as with a one stride. So I want to tell you that you are meant for greatness, and you sitting down, you just believing that there are people who can make it and you not making it is a very bad mindset. So know who you are, what do you want in this life. And if you are a young man, you are a young youth below 25 years old, you are the right place. You can still start from there. It doesn't matter what you did, you can still do something that can happen, make a great impact. So I want to tell you, like, if you have a skill out there, you feel there's something you want to do to the society, look at the avenues, what is happening in the society. Perhaps you realize when you walk to these government offices, the sub-chief, the local chief, the commissioner's office, their opportunities are always brought to the ground, and at some point we don't get them because we fear if you go to a police station or you go to an assistant chief office, you are going there for a criminal offense. You step out, look every morning when you wake up, ensure you walk out, look at what is happening in the society, engage yourself. And something that is more impactful is, if you cannot get a job with your purpose, you have a skill that you earned, volunteer. Just move in a facility. Tell them that you have done this, you are able to do this, and you're not there to be paid. You just want to do something at the end of the day, so that at least your existence in the society is felt. So you can become who you are, who you want to be. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and believe also in God, because God has created us with all we have hands, we have our mind, and we have everything. So if you can wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to do, job will not come at your door. Job will not come at your society that now we are looking for this and this person. But you can go out, you can search, you can start for you at volunteering, and partner with these people that are already doing something. Don't get yourself into crime, because at the end of the day, the law is very direct. But if you do an offense that is against the law, you'll be taken to jail. So you are a young man, you have a brighter future, you are able to make it what you want to be. Our life can never be the same. If I've studied and I'm a medical doctor, it doesn't really mean that you also have to become this, because that is why we are very unique. And you have a capability within yourself, you have your skills, and if you don't have them, partner with people who can help you grow. Have friends of benefit. If you have a smartphone and you are at home, every morning you wake up, you go into Google. There are things that you can learn and start implementing them in the school, in the society. There are so many schools within the slums that need just volunteers. One thing you can never regret is giving your services to the society on a free, because at the end of the day, you'll never work for free for a longer period, because once you've shown your interest that you want to impact something, opportunities will come for you. So you have to step up, know who you are, what do you want, and go for it. If you cannot make it in one way, there's another way. If you can't make it in working for an organization, you can make it in starting a business. Go out, sell mandazi. Go out, sell groundnuts with the kahawa and people, because food is a necessity. So as long as at the end of the day you are able to get 10 shillings, 20 shillings, 30 shillings, I know the economy is hard. The government is also trying to accommodate us with whatever you want, but the government will not bring you a job, the government will not bring you food, but you can work as long as you live in this society and you are able to change yourself and change your society.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent, for that good encouragement to our viewers there. And one thing that I've really admired in your conversation is that you constantly reminded the youth that they really need to change their mindset and be able to be flexible enough so that at least they take advantage of the opportunities that are around them, and by so doing probably they will brighten their future. So thank you so much. Continue doing the good work that you're doing with the organization, and please don't tire because we need more and more people like you to keep on encouraging our youth out there. We just want to bring the criminal activities emanating from the youth at least to go down, so that at least we may have a better, or rather a good generation of young people that will take over from the current generation that is actually leading us. Yeah, so thank you so much, and if you are out there watching this video, kindly continue, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and don't also forget to hit that notification bell so that you keep on receiving new content that we get to post. Until our next video, we are thankful for you getting even an opportunity to really watch this video. So until the next video, it's a wrap from us here, and bye.
Thank you.